listening to Jaime's Local Love, the podcast, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.
Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Serena. On this podcast, we celebrate everything local. And if you are fighting off a cold or some allergies, don't you want to work with a local maker? So I want to introduce you to Divya Yoder of the original Elderberry Company. Divya, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Jaime.
Tell me about, you have a line of products that have to do with elderberry. What brought you to this product?
Yes, so I was looking for a natural product to help boost my own family's immune system. And we went to the grocery store and everything was filled with refined sugars, preservatives, and thickening agents. And after extensive research, I first came out with our elderberry syrup. And it has been a tremendous help to boost our family's immune system naturally with amazing ingredients.
Yeah, so the elderberries, where are they coming from?
So we have actually tested elderberries across the United States, Bulgaria, and Croatia. Our elderberries now come from Ukraine. They get shipped to Chicago. They are cleaned in Chicago. They are U.S. certified organic, and then they ship them to me here.
How did you fall into this? Or I guess you went after researching this because what would this be? A medical background? A chemist background? What kind of background?
I would say a mom background, right?
Yeah.
A mom looking to boost her own family's immune system, because I have no medical degree. I have no medicine background, but I do come from India. And my parents are from India, and we use natural products to help boost our immune system and lots of different spices. And so after extensive research, our syrup is what we came up with, because not only does it have elderberries, it has Ceylon cinnamon, which is the best type of cinnamon for you. Too much cinnamon is bad. Ceylon cinnamon is the best, and you can take it daily. We also use fresh ginger. Every single piece of ginger is peeled, whole cloves, and local honey. That is it.
So how long ago did you start this journey of, I guess, frustration with the products you found on the shelves to what we have now on the shelves from you?
Yes, thank you so much. So we started this journey in 2019. My son was 1 at the time, and he would get sick constantly, and we just didn't know what to do. And everything over the counter was just bringing down his immune system. So turning to a more natural remedy has truly helped us, and we were able to create such a healthy and business that helps people.
Yeah, how fun. Yeah. Did you start with trying syrups? Were you cooking up syrups in the kitchen?
Absolutely. I started this business in my kitchen. I was water bath canning to help preserve the actual, once we make the product, so it's sealed and so it has a longer shelf life until it's opened. So it took a lot of research because I had never water bath canned anything in my life.
Describe to me water bath canning. What does that mean?
Yes. So back in the day, this is what families would use to make jams and jellies, right? So they would make a big batch of it and they would put it in a big tub full of water, and then it would seal. And then once it goes through the process, you use this little handle because the water's super hot. You would take it out and you would put it on your counter, and it would slowly take out all the air, and you would hear the little pop, and that would be sealed, and it would be great for at least a few months, maybe a year, 2 years, until you opened it, and then that's when you would refrigerate it.
Oh, my goodness. So you also had to research how to do that.
Yes.
You're creating all of this. At what point did you think I need some help with the manufacturing?
When my dad actually started taking a look at all the orders I was getting, he was like, you should really get a co-packer. And I was like, Dad, this is fun for me. This is something I do on the side. I don't need a co-packer. And I'm so thankful for him, because it took about a year process to finalize a co-packer, share our recipe, and this happened right before COVID. And so November of 2020 is when we had our co-packer in full gear, and we were able to produce in small batches but more product in one sitting versus me making only 30 jars at home at a time.
Because you had a lot of interest once COVID hit.
Yes, absolutely. Because elderberry is not only high in antioxidants, it does so much more for you. And coupled with the ingredients that we utilize, not only does it fight cold and flu 50% faster, it also helps regulate your blood sugar. It promotes healthy gut. So when you have a good gut biome, your body can focus on so much more and work more efficiently for you.
How do you take it?
So as a family, we take one small shot a day. We'll put it in a medicine cup. Sometimes we'll mix it in like tea or coffee, but on the daily, we usually take one shot. If we're out and about, someone's not feeling good, we're in a random place, someone's coughing, sneezing, we will go home and take an extra shot just to be more preventative. But that's why we came out with our on the go, because people wanted to travel with it and keep it on them at all times.
Oh.
Yes.
So if someone sneezes by them, you just take a little tincture of it?
Yes, exactly. Can't overdose on elderberry.
Isn't that delicious? And it is delicious. Explain to the people what the flavor is like.
We say elderberry syrup tastes like Christmas.
I will double down on that. Yes.
And our on the go this weekend at Made with Love, a lot of people were saying it tasted like chocolate.
Oh.
I don't know. We've gotten chocolate, black licorice, different types of flavors with our on the go.
Huh. We need a study on all these people with the different taste buds variations.
Yes.
That would be interesting. Okay, so we have some products here. I know for folks who are listening, we're going to describe them to you. For folks who are watching, we can go around the table a little bit. Let's start with the syrup.
Yes. So the syrup is all natural, all organic. It's elderberries, Ceylon cinnamon, fresh ginger, whole cloves, and local honey. The best part about this product as well is if anyone suffers from sinuses or allergies, this is a game changer. We have literally gotten people off of Claritin, Allegra, Zyrtec, Flonase, allergy shots, certain prescriptions just because of our syrup. And my husband was on Claritin D for decades. From the day I met him until 2019 when we started this business, he is no longer on Claritin or any over-the-counter allergy medicine.
So he's definitely a proponent of the elderberry.
Yes. And we actually have a mother with a 13-year-old son, and he was on 3 prescriptions, 1 year over-the-counter, and she was like, Divya, I just need to get him off of this stuff so we can start giving him allergy shots. They did not even bother with the shots.
Oh, how wonderful. Yes. How wonderful. We mentioned the tincture. What is that?
Yes. So our tincture is non-GMO vegetable glycerin, elderberries, and Ceylon cinnamon. So it will also help regulate your blood sugar. We came out with this one with a non-alcohol based, so anyone over the age of 6 months can use this product.
Oh, wow. The gummies as well.
Yes, and our gummies are organic, vegan, gluten-free, and they also have vitamin C and zinc. So 2 a day for adults, 1 for kids.
Ooh, or a little more.
Yeah, can't overdose on elderberry.
You can't. You said you can't.
Yes.
You can't. What about the tea?
So our tea, we like to say it's a beautiful wellness blend. It is an herbal tea. It is elderberries, echinacea, rosehip, and peppermint. You don't even need any type of sweetener.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, so we say the word syrup, but I feel like we're overusing it because it's not syrupy thick at all.
Absolutely not. Any elderberry syrup you actually purchase from a grocery store has refined sugars, preservatives, and thickening agents. Ours is a pure, simple liquid. There's no thickeners in there. So you can use it on your pancakes if you prefer. We do say put a little cup on the side and dip it so you're not wasting it because you don't want to waste your elderberry syrup.
No, you do not. You do not. You mentioned this is kind of your side gig.
Yes.
But this is a big job for you. So talk to me about how you're managing your time. And I know you're at the farmers markets a lot.
Yes. So I do work full time and I do a lot of big events on the weekends. So when we have our Made with Love events, I will take time off work on Fridays to go there, and I will be there all weekend. And then on Saturdays, my mother runs our Old Town Scottsdale location. And then we have another team that runs our Chandler location. We have Jess and Danielle. And then we have Delaney that runs our High Street Market on Sundays.
And you mentioned Mama. So you grew up here in the Valley, right?
I did. I went to Desert Mountain in high school. I've been in the Valley since I was 5.
And where were you born?
I was born in the UK.
Okay. And you mentioned your family's from India.
Yes. My parents are both Indian. Funny enough, my mom was born in Indonesia. My dad was born in Uganda.
Oh, wow. Okay. How'd they meet?
They met in India, but the funny story is when they were old enough and ready for marriage, both families didn't want them to get married because they were 2 separate castes. Oh. My dad migrated with his family to London, and he told my mom, if you want to be together, you need to come here. And so she was an air hostess at the time on Air India, and she was working a flight from India to London and never went back to work.
Oh, and married, came here happily ever after.
Yes, they moved here when I was 5, and we love the weather, way better than London, and we've been here ever since.
How were they communicating when he moved into London? Is that letters,
that's a great question.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. Probably through telephone and calling cards at the time.
Yeah. Oh, how incredible. And brought you here. So we're glad that the family ended up here in the Valley. What would you tell someone who is starting a business from scratch, from the heart, like a mama bear that you did, about the business process?
I would say, as frustrating as it can be, just keep going. Because during the process, it can be difficult, and there will be times that you just want to stop and quit, but don't, because just imagine all the benefits of people that you can help. And depending on what type of business, I would say just keep going after your dream. Don't let anything stop you, and don't let anyone tell you anything different.
You said Dad's advice of getting a packing company to help was huge.
Yeah, my dad has been instrumental through this entire process, and I am so thankful for him because he's given me so much business advice, including my husband, on how to market certain items, how to, the co-packer, which has been life-changing for us because we've been able to use our time more effectively now versus always in the kitchen.
Yeah, even though you're at the farmers markets on your weekend, you worked 40 hours, you did your full work week, and now you pack up your stuff and bring things to the farmers markets. What do people say to you at the farmers markets when they try your product or when they're inquiring about it?
They say, yes, we agree, it tastes like Christmas. But the great thing is when someone comes up to us and they are like, we have been congested for weeks, and they'll take one sip and we'll keep talking. And 2 seconds later, they will say, oh my gosh, this is the first time I can breathe. And right then and there, they are sold.
That quickly?
That quickly. Sometimes it takes minutes. Sometimes it will take longer, 24 to 72 hours. But there's so much relief in a natural product that you can't get anywhere else.
I get it, because a lot of times, it's hard to get the kids to take a pill or a nose spray or whatever, but to take a little taste of this delicious elderberry, it goes down real sweet, real smooth. So much so that some mixologists are inquiring about your product.
Yes. So we do have one bar right now that uses our elderberry syrup in their cocktail. It is Butler's Easy. They are on 7th Street and Northern. And we do have another local business that will be picking this up very soon. We literally just have to drop it off.
Oh, well, maybe you should go there today.
That's a good idea.
Let's go get those on the menu over there. So whereabouts, can you tell? Obviously, you can't tell us the restaurant yet.
Right.
But can you tell us part of town?
Yes, it's more like the central Phoenix area, more like between 32nd and 44th Street.
Oh, she's getting us real close.
Yes.
Okay, there are a lot of great restaurants and mixologists along that way. I'm happy to just try everyone, to try to find you, try to find where you are. And one place that we know you are is AJ's. And being a girl who grew up here in the Valley, to have your product on the shelf at AJ's, kudos to you.
Thank you so much. I still get goosebumps when I walk in there.
You just take a little stroll. What was that process like?
It was a very long process. It took us a few years to keep knocking on the door until we got the first meeting. And in that first meeting, they were sold. They said yes on the spot. But it just took a while to get in, and then the contracting process. And now we're there. They carry our syrup and our gummies.
So as far as knocking on the door for another business owner who might think, oh, how can I do that? Who are you talking to over there? You don't have to give me names, but if I were to walk in the store, how do you get that first contact?
Yeah. When you get someone at a location that's interested and try to get them on your side to bring in the product, that's a little bit helpful, but then it has to go up the chain to the corporate office. And once you have that corporate meeting, that's when everything changes. Okay. But if you find someone locally at one of the stores, that's probably your best bet because they're going to be the most biggest advocate for you.
Yeah, you got to find a friend on the inside.
Right.
Means more time at AJ's, more time somewhere along Indian school between where and where. You're giving me things to do. You mentioned you have 2 small kids?
Yes, 5 and 7, Rian and Krish. And both of them take our elderberry syrup every day. They like the gummies as well. And they know when they're not feeling good, they say, Mama, we need some elderberry. And my favorite part of this story is that our 5-year-old has been on elderberry syrup since he was 1. And he has never been on any antibiotics. None of us have since 2019, but he's never been on anything his entire life.
Do you see differences in the 2 kids with their health since then? I mean, that's going to be interesting to follow along through the process.
I do. And that's interesting because my oldest one is more prone to getting sick. However, he will get a sniffle and the next day it will be gone. And my youngest one, we don't really see too much of anything.
Yeah, really? Wow. And you think, how old is the youngest one again?
5.
5? That's usually where they're getting a little sick sometimes.
Yes, and the funny thing is, people will say, oh, my kid is starting daycare. We're all going to get sick. The best part about our product is it doesn't trickle through the household anymore. One person gets sick, it stays with that person. We just increase our elderberry, and we're all fine.
Are you glad you did this?
I'm very glad we did this. Yes, because there's so much junk in the world that we're putting into our bodies. And when you find something that's so natural and that actually helps people, I'm very thankful for that. More because when we hear the stories, right? We don't hear every single story, but when people come to us to tell us how much we've changed their lives with one simple product, it is just worthwhile.
Yeah, because you could have just done it for your family and not gone into business. What made you want to go into business with this?
So funny because I never wanted to own my own business. I've seen my parents in their own businesses and the struggles, and I said, just give me a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that we did. It's difficult running a business, but the nice thing is we don't have a storefront, so we don't have the extra headache and the additional overheads. That's why we're also able to keep our costs low, because we can pass those savings on to our customers.
Right. But then you're working so hard.
Yes. It seems like never ending. The summer is when I take my downtime and I say I'm going to do so many different things for the business, but then I don't do anything and I just relax during the summer. But then it comes to our farmers market seasons and we are go, go, go.
Yeah. And the whole family, all hands on deck for this.
Absolutely.
What are you loving in Arizona right now? What are you eating? What are you drinking? What are you reading? What are you doing?
I love everything about Arizona, especially the food. We went to Tryst yesterday as a family. We love our brunch. Yeah. And so we were doing that. We're going to the Princess on Tuesday for Christmas. Yeah. And just all the local venues and the local exciting time for the holidays is we're diving into these days. Yeah. Lots of family time.
Good. It seems like you work very hard. You don't get sick, do you? Working so hard.
If I do, I just drink a whole bottle of elderberry.
Do you really drink the whole bottle?
I got sick about a month ago, and I drank a whole bottle in 24 hours, and I felt like $1 million.
So it works, she says. It works. It is Divya Yoder with the Original Elderberry Company. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Soretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jsoretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Soretta and Instagram @Soretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jaime's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.